there is some growing concern and alarm about what's being called long COVID.
The CDC says more than 1 in 10 patients will develop long-term symptoms.
In 2020, just before the COVID-19 pandemic swept across the world, Patrick Malia worked 2 jobs. One of them was at a surgery center in Elgin, a city some 50 kilometers outside Chicago.
I worked 2 jobs, went to school, pulled straight A's, took care of the kids at night while my wife worked nights, usually 3 or 4 nights a week. I worked in the hospital when Ebola was a big thing about 10 years ago. And we did all kinds of Ebola training and things like that. And I kind of thought it was going to be the same thing, where, okay, there's this new disease, this new virus, but it's probably going to be like Ebola where it just fizzles out and doesn't actually materialize in anything. But I do remember telling my wife, if anybody's going to get it, it's going to be me, because it's a respiratory virus and I have asthma. So I'm like, I'm going to get it. I know I'm going to get it.
Patrick attempted to return to work on a part-time basis. He quickly realized the impacts of COVID-19 were more than physical.
Squeeze my fingers. Pull me in, strong. Push me away. Good.
There was a couple times that I drove to work, the same route I had taken for years. I remember calling my wife, I have no idea where I am. And she's like, what do you mean you don't know where you are? I had no idea where I was.
Was getting lost a lot of times when he was going to work. And he'd call me, and I'd have to ask him, where are you? Do you know, name things around you? And I'm not from the suburbs, so I don't 100% know, but I had to figure it out every time and make sure that he was okay.
I would get confused very easily. I would black out. I'd forget where I was. I'd forget what I was doing. I'd forget who I was talking to. And that's kind of when we started to notice that there were more like neuro symptoms along with the respiratory.
You okay? This is one of the first things you climbed when you were first starting at the park.
My son still worries that I'm going to die. It's been almost 3 years and he's still not entirely convinced that I'm not going to die.
My 6-year-old thinks that he's going to die at any minute. When I do leave for work, he always asks, can I call you until your plane takes off? And it's like, you can call me at any time. He's afraid that when I do go to work that Daddy's going to die and he's not going to know what to do and he's going to have to take care of everything.
No, because hey, the leaves are starting to grow.
So the most common types of symptoms tend to be fatigue, brain fog. A lot of people will complain about shortness of breath, chest pain. There also can be GI problems, rashes. There's no medication yet that sort of attacks the root of the problem, that attacks the upstream start of the disease.
Sorry.